UFO abductees describe various alien species. That is one of the clips I'm going to be showing you today from a brand new channel I just found out about called Eyes on Cinema. It is probably the greatest UFO channel out there, in my opinion. So we're going to take a look at a few clips from that channel that I find absolutely fascinating. I'm going to put links to all of this in the description so you can check it out yourself. And also what we're going to do at the very end of the video is take a look at a post that I made on the Vetted YouTube channel asking everyone, all the different vetters, what's your favorite UFO, YouTube channel or podcast? And we've got an amazing list of brand new shows, some I never heard of, some I agree with, and some, are awesome. And yeah, so let's take a look and see what other vetters are saying, what they're listening to, and maybe you can learn a new channel, to check out or a new podcast. What do you say? Let's dive in, vetters. If you're new to the channel and you like content like this, please hit that subscribe button, y'all. We put out a new video every day, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. I do not miss a day. And, of course, hit that like button. That really helps out the videos, y'all. So thank y'all so much for the support there. And, of course, comment down below what you think of Eyes on Cinema and, some of these clips we're going to show. And, of course, if you disagree or agree with some of the channels we mentioned, and add some more down below. Please put links as well so people can find them. That really helps out. All right, let's dive in. First things first is, here's the name of the channel, okay, Eyes on Cinema. Again, I'll put a link in the description. You can check it out. And again, it's just got a, look at this, just a wonderful treasure trove of UFO-related videos, y'all. Okay, it's not trying to sell you on anything. It's just no talking head like this Yahoo right here. Just great videos. Man, I love it. So, all right, let's dive into this first video that I have right here. And let's just go.
These mainly are the types of aliens which people are...
It says Tony Dodd, by the way. You can't see the lettering.
These mainly are the types of aliens which people are describing in certainly under hypnosis in the abduction cases, and certainly people who have actually had confrontations with UFOs down on the ground. And there is a variation in them, but these are the slight variations you get in them. Now, there's a lot about being said about this reptile type of alien, and now what they call Bob Lazar reckons that they have actually got those in the underground facilities at Area 51, that they are liaising, as well as the Greys, they are liaising with the American authorities, but they are basically a lizard type, very, very powerful, very, very strong, and from what I can understand is they will not bother you unless you make them angry, but if you make them angry, get out the way, because they're very, this is what I'm told, they're savage. Now that is the one which a lot of you have seen from the book. It was a Canadian professor actually put this little fella together, and he said this is what the dinosaurs would look like today if they'd stayed on Earth and had evolved. That's exactly what they would look like, and they would just have 2 arms and 2 legs the same as us.
I mean, that picture is just crazy looking, right? Like, that thing is, that's interesting. I never actually thought about dinosaurs evolving into humans. I don't know if I've ever thought about that. I've had a lot of thoughts in my life, for sure. That's one I don't know. That is interesting, man. Maybe that should be in like a new Jurassic Park movie. Come on. That would be so cool. All of a sudden, like, you think it's going to be a T-Rex coming around the corner, all these bushes moving and trees, and then it's like this guy right here, maybe bigger or something. I don't know. Give him some wings. I mean, that just looks crazy looking. I mean, it kind of looks like a Sears photograph, like portrait, like family photograph, right? Like this is his high school picture right here, chess club. Down here, chess club, most likely to, probe. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, God, that's fascinating. Honestly, this picture, just the eyes too. Interesting. What do y'all think of that? The head. Yeah, that's interesting. I hadn't seen any one like that before.
So there is actually a theory that there may be in some underground, not the facilities, but in some underground caves or whatever you like to think, where the dinosaurs suddenly started to disappear off the face of the earth. Some of them may have got underground and evolved to today's, what we would see today as an intelligent type of being. That is this professor's theory.
That is insane. So I thought they were theorizing. That's interesting. I have never heard that theory before, man. I swear, I thought I've heard it all. Again, that's why this channel is awesome, dude. You can start deep diving. You know the rabbit holes you go down on YouTube? Okay, hello. This channel has the whole rabbit hole for you. That's what they should call it, rabbit hole cinema. Because think about that. The dinosaurs, some of them went underground and evolved into, these beings, intelligent beings. That's crazy. That's what maybe the ultra terrestrials are. Potentially, I don't know. Man, that's boy, if we found that out, I would be impressed. I would be quite impressed, man. Wow.
And that's what, as I say, that's what he said it would look like. Now that particular picture, certainly the researchers amongst you will have seen it. I was given this photograph by Marina Popovich, the Russian astronaut. We're quite friendly. And when I was in Germany, she was talking about how she attended a convention in Canada, a convention of scientists, because she, apart from that, most of your astronauts are scientists in one degree or another anyway.
Sorry, I just want to make sure I stay on this picture real quick. What do y'all see? I see like a little Asian boy, right? What is this down here? What in the hell is going on? Is that his body? What is this thing? All right, let me back it up just a little bit here.
Scientists, because she, apart from that, most of your astronauts are scientists in one degree or another anyway. And she went to this convention and she was actually given this photograph by one of the top scientists there, who was actually, I've forgotten his name just off the top of my head, but he's dead now anyway. And she said he told her that this was a photograph of one of the aliens that had been recovered. We don't know the truth of it. I can only tell you what she told me. Now, interestingly enough, on that particular visit to Germany, there was a Russian contingent there. There were about 4 or 5 of them, and they seemed nice enough people. And I got friendly with them because we were exchanging information, and we were sort of, I was telling them our UFO stuff, they were telling us theirs. And in the hotel bedroom, they actually invited my wife and me to go to their bedroom and have a drink with them. And this seemed to go down badly in some quarters. There was some American operatives there, and next thing I know is my wife and me went to our bedroom to get changed, to go in the Russian's room. And while we're in the bedroom, a letter comes under the door. Be very, very careful what you tell the Russians. Don't tell them anything. They'll try to get you drunk and find out what you know. Signed, a friend. So, it was spies amongst spies. It was quite remarkable, really. But anyway, that's what Marina Popovich says that was. These are 1 or 2 of the other artists' impressions of these things, and they're basically all the same type of thing with the big black eyes. Now, the interesting thing is, I was talking to my American counterparts who are dealing with the abduction syndrome only the other day, and there's been a new twist of events on this abduction thing. What the American researchers and hypnotists have decided to do, because we were getting all these cases of abduction, we'd never got anything physical you could get hold of as proof, apart from many people with many scars and things like this. They were implanting into the abductee's mind that the next time that they were abducted, get hold of something and bring it back with you. If you can't do that, attack the Greys, who are much inferior to us physically, and if you can scratch them or something, you could get some of their skin under your fingernails. Something we could get for analysis, in other words. Well, one of the abductees they did this to in very, very quick time after this incident, had an abduction experience. Now, she never got a chance to get her hands on anything, because when they had her on the table and that, she couldn't move or anything else. But at one stage, she was free, and she attacked one of these greys, but this was in her bedroom. And she hit it in the eye, apparently, and knocked one of the big black eyes, apparently, out. Now, what happened was the grey immediately disappeared. But, let me get you right. Once she knocked this, it was like an eye shield. It wasn't an eye as such. It was almost like her sunglass. She knocked this thing off, which fell to the floor of the bedroom, and there were little flashing red lights inside. But the thing about it is, of course, they recovered the thing that she'd knocked out of the alien's eye. And it was described to me as being a very thin type of membrane type of material, but it was exactly like a coloured sunglass. Anyway, they're looking at that at this moment in time. But the point of all this is, it is proved now, almost beyond a shadow of a doubt, that these greys are actually biological androids.
He goes, well, you know, they're looking at that. But anyway, this is proof. You just said they're looking at it. It's not proof. But anyway, that's an interesting story. I do have to say, sorry, I laughed because I thought, like, she just hit it and the eyeball popped out. But a lens and, okay, that's, you know, that makes more sense. I mean, I'm not saying the story makes sense. I'm just saying that's not an eyeball, but that's interesting. You know, I find this stuff fascinating to listen to. You know, again, whether you believe it or not, I don't think it's really that important to sort of enjoy it, in my opinion. Can you take it to another level if you do believe in it? Sure. If you can relate to the stories or experience. You know, I've never had an experience, so I can't relate. But it is interesting to listen to. And those pictures and the thoughts and the theories, right, that come about. Again, this channel is just a rabbit hole. You can go down all these different, you know, avenues and just hear different people speak about different things. They don't endorse one way or the other. That's what I like about it. Yeah, this guy is for sure interesting, telling the stories. But anyway, let's move on to the next clip here. This says, Robert Amenegger on using actual footage from a UFO landing at Holloman Air Force Base for his 1974 documentary. Okay, so, wow. You know, 50 years old here. Almost. All right. Yeah, let's do it. Here we go.
With me is author and filmmaker Robert Amenegger and former security manager and chief of requirements for the audio-visual program at Norton Air Force Base, Paul Shartle. Gentlemen, Mr. Amenegger, how did you get involved with?
That name is super problematic. That's what I have a hard time pronouncing that, because if one slip of the tongue, and that is, you know, Patrick's getting canceled. So, yes. I'm not going to try to pronounce that name anymore, but this guy just has to say it like 10 times in the first 10 seconds here. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I don't know what to tell you. Let's continue here.
UFOs.
Well, it was in 1973 when I was vice president at Gray Advertising, and I took time out and went to Norton Air Force Base to explore subjects for television specials related to the Defense Department. While discussing several of the subjects, UFOs came up, and Paul here told us about a film of a landing of alien crafts at Holloman Air Force Base about 3 years earlier.
What did you see, Mr. Shartle?
I saw footage of 3 dish-shaped crafts. One of the craft landed and 2 of them went away.
Why did it land?
It appeared to be in trouble because it oscillated all the way down to the ground. However, it did land on 3 pods. A sliding door opened, a ramp was extended, and out came 3 aliens.
What did they look like?
Well, they were human-sized. They had odd gray complexion and a pronounced nose. They wore tight-fitting jumpsuits, thin headdresses that appeared to be communication devices, and in their hands they held a translator, I was told. The Holloman base commander and other Air Force officers went out to meet them.
You actually saw these aliens on the film?
Yes.
This film footage sounded very, very special, and we wanted to use it as the ending of our television special.
Did you? Was it in your special?
Well, although the Pentagon had been very, very cooperative all the way, at the last minute the film was confiscated and we lost the whole finale of our show. But what I saw and heard was enough to convince me that, you know, the phenomenon of UFOs is real, very real.
Mr. Shartle, what did your superior officers tell you?
I was told it was theatrical footage the Air Force has purchased to make a training film.
Well, that sounds plausible, doesn't it?
Well, if it were a theatrical film, why didn't I have a record of this? It was my job to keep accurate records of all audiovisual purchases.
Is there any other reason that you feel this was not a theatrical film?
Yes, it was too real. The people who were shooting that day were Air Force personnel. Lucky for us, the day they were shooting, they were doing an acceleration test.
Yeah, well, it's too bad we couldn't get that footage from the Air Force. Gentlemen, thank you very much for being with us today.
Then they put the documentary out, and then I find out that there's 8 seconds of the Holloman Air Force Base film in the film. So Bob's my friend. I phone up Bob. There's 8 seconds of film in there. And he goes, well, yeah. And I said, you told me they pulled the film. You told me it was sent back to the Pentagon. And he said, well, it did. And he told me this whole story about the guy going across the country in this small Datsun, taking the film back to the Pentagon. I said, but there's 8 seconds of film in the documentary. And then he said the key words. He said, but it didn't show anything. And I said, oh no, he said, it's background. And I said, background? What do you mean it's background? And he said, it didn't show anything. And what it is you see the hills of Holloman, and you see this object, this brilliantly lit object at 6 o'clock in the morning coming over the hills, but it's in a distance. So you don't see it close up, and you don't see the alien when the alien gets out. That's the classified part. So they want you to know that Holloman happened, and they allowed them to use this, the 8 seconds of the film, but the rest of the film, the classified part, was pulled.
Wow. Okay. See, that's interesting. Yeah, they have. Look, that was interesting.
30 years ago today, KLAS.
My apologies there. I just started auto play. This one is also very interesting here. Which is, again, they have all kinds of different stuff. Like this is just like an audio, right, only recording. They just have so much stuff on this channel, y'all. I'm telling y'all, it's a phenomenal channel to check out and dive deep into. I find that the Holloman one, that's interesting story, that it could have been a theatrical film, potentially. I don't know if I had heard that before, exactly. But I don't know. That's interesting. I mean, a UFO lands and 3 aliens get out. And I love how they're going to use it in a TV special. What? Like, I mean, I don't understand that. That seems weird. Like, oh, okay, the greatest, film of all time, like footage of film of all time. Film footage, sorry, of all time, and you're going to put it in some, like, UFO TV special? I think that host of that show is from MASH. I'm not entirely sure. That's where I recognize it from. But anyway, that's so interesting, the Holloman stuff, right? I would, man, can you imagine seeing that video? One day that video will exist, something like that. Clear, crystal clear footage of UFOs, aliens getting out. Like, I mean, how is it not? And it might already exist. So anyway, yeah, let's check out this last clip here. This says Sergeant Russell Yoakum recorded the sound of a UFO hovering over the Columbia River, St. Helens, Oregon, 1981. And see, it even puts like a newspaper clipping right here. That's the cop. He's got his little listening device. And again, it goes over the whole story of what happened. Great job to the guys that run this channel, by the way.
Hey, Lucky. So we got a tape recorder sitting there by a radio whenever you're ready. We'll keep her running. If it starts up again, just key up and we'll record a little bit of it. Just didn't want to think we all screw loose. Yep. I've got water. All go to bed. TS, all it is now is just an orange glow. That's all I can see. But the sun is coming up. Better not be. It's awful early. Awful early for the sun paper, Joe. I don't think the sun would just be in that one spot. I think it's moving out, you guys. Oh, we're watching. We moved up to a higher vantage point, so you tell us what it does. Well, listen. Sounds like it's revving up its engines.
The fuck?
Can you hear it? I hope. It's sure cold out here. I hope you're taping this, you guys. Yes, we are. Sounds like to me a power plant diesel motor and a screeching noise in between it there, or with it. Okay, we're listening. 4:29 a.m. Just for the record.
Let me read this here. After the light powered down, one officer heard it quietly humming for another 14 minutes. The officers, citizens, and Lucky 13 watched the hovering light. Then at 4:43 a.m., the light went out. One officer said that the light made a funny whistling sound before it went out. Interesting. Very interesting, y'all. Okay, let's see here. So, again, check it out. Eyes on Cinema. Again, I'll put a link in the description. Please go to the YouTube channel and check it out. And here's the post, right? What's your favorite UFO YouTube channel? Again, people put podcasts as well. So let's go over some of the shows here. They got shouted out. The Y-Files, of course. I actually have a video on the Y-Files coming out tomorrow. They had a cool video about panspermia, so I'm going to be covering that tomorrow. And I found this amazing article about panspermia as well. It's pretty cool. Richard Dolan and yourself, Patrick. So two favorites, LOL, peace. Thank you so much, David. My go-to every day, Patrick. Thanks, mate. Vintage Boxing, thank you. This one, okay, thank you. Here in Australia, I have my first coffee watching Vetted every morning, and you're doing a fantastic job, Patrick, but I always keep a keen eye out for Need to Know podcast. That's Ross Coulthard and Bryce Zabel. Red Panda Koala right here, this says. Eyes on Cinema, vintage film. Agreed. That just is so awesome, man. For many years, I watched Secure Team with Tyler. Now I jump around. That's how I found you subbed. I like Redacted, but he doesn't always talk about UFOs. Also, The Confessionals and Sean Ryan. I enjoy your channel. Good job. Eyes on Cinema. Your podcast are also great, Patrick. And I enjoy Richard Dolan. What a time to be alive. Richard Dolan. That keeps coming up, y'all. Richard Dolan. Eyes on Cinema. Richard Dolan. I have to say, you, Patrick, in Australia, I start the morning with your rundown. It drops here at 5 a.m. Great way to start the day. Balanced, well researched. Keep it up. Thank you, brother. I go through loads of the weekend. I don't specifically have a favorite. Okay. Peter Maxwell Slattery and mine. Okay. Eyes on Cinema, hands down. Man, again, that one just keeps coming up. Vetted. Okay. Thanks, guys. But, you didn't have to say that. Through a Glass Darkly. The Y-Files, John D'Souza, retired FBI. He's interesting. And Dave Paulides. I watch Vetted every day. Christian Harloff every Tuesday. Christian Harloff is like a movie critic, and he does a UFO show on Tuesdays that people have been really enjoying. And Y-Files, boom, I love Y-Files too, y'all. Recently found your channel. Thank you so much, Richard Dolan. Let me, go fast here. Corbell, Cosmic Road, Dolan, Eyes on Cinema. Holy shit, I can't believe I've never heard of this channel. Way underrated. Okay, thank you. Mick West, Eyes on Cinema by far. I've been watching the OG Secure Team 10 for 10 years now. UAP Tuesdays with Christian Harloff. UFO Mania. Omega Click, Italian channel. Jeremy Corbell, Richard Dolan, Need to Know. Post-Disclosure World. Ryan Robbins Rules. I don't know. Weaponize, a good trouble show. But you may crack the top 5 if you keep up with this everyday video stuff. Thank you. Black Vault, Basement Office, Y-Files, and me. Cosmic Road, Leto Files with Chris Leto, Eyes on Cinema. See, that keeps coming up. The Confessionals has some great UFO-related interviews. I need to check that one out. That one keeps coming up, too. I'm sure someone's already said Eyes on Cinema. See, I told y'all. Preston Dennett, vetted, thank you. Y-Files, Eyes on Cinema, Richard Dolan, The Angry Astronaut, Y-Files, vetted, Cosmic Road. Although Jack believes every story he has a great news roundup. Disclosure Tonight for me, Eyes on Cinema, Y-Files, Science Side, Steve Mera, Preston Dennett, Chris Leto, Eyes on Cinema, Jesse Michaels. Some I want to throw out there. Again, I'm going to put a link to this so you guys can check them all out. But there's a lot on there. There's too many for me to go through here, y'all. I love Lex Friedman, Theories of Everything with Kurt Jaimungal. The Jesse Michaels, I think they got mentioned there at the end. I do like those particular channels a lot. So, and there's lots of them. I mean, I'll watch Joe Rogan. I'll watch a Steve-O podcast. Jeremy Corbell was on there. They'll talk about aliens. I'll watch different stuff, to be honest with you. I'll watch Dr. Brian Keating, Avi Loeb, Mick West. I will watch different stuff. I just like to hear different perspectives all the time. I mean, that is just the truth. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, y'all. It was great looking at old footage like that and just taking a look at different videos like that. I really enjoy that, to be honest with you. So if you want to see more videos like this where I just kind of go over vintage clips, let me know, and I'll do more videos like this. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching this far. We'll see you tomorrow. Again, I got a great video about the Y-Files, latest episode of panspermia. And again, I found this great article that just sort of blew my mind of some research and some stuff about panspermia that, honestly, that this might be more real than we think, y'all. So, thank y'all again for watching and all the support, y'all. We'll see you tomorrow. Remember, every day's a gift.